Okay, this video is Beautiful Black Lady Dumps Me. So I knew this was going to happen. That's why I kind of saw the whole thing as kind of a joke, because when people first see me maybe give one talk, they're like, oh, that was a great talk. They really like it. And they're like, well, why don't I become the next Rip Esselstyn and just have a pleasant show, or be like, Viva Longevity, something pleasant, talk about plants, and we'll all get together and sing Kumbaya. Well, bullshit, okay? I'm not a high-fat phony. I'm not some regular guy that just wants to make friends and build a company. This is not a company. This is just a hobby. I tell the truth about low-fat vegan diet because it's being swept under the rug, okay? And there's also this attitude, why do you keep talking about Western civilization and Christianity and academic stuff and all these other things? They're not relevant to the plant-based mission. And I'm like, yeah, they are, okay? If we don't restore Christian ethics to Western civilization, we're going to have slavery. The billionaire perverts want slavery. There is nothing ambiguous about it, and if you don't know that, then I'm sorry, you're an ignoramus, okay? So there's this naive idea that, well, let's just start an internet company and grow it. That's never going to happen for me, okay? That might be a positive strategy for some harmless person or for some affirmative action person who they think is pleasant. For me, it'll never happen, okay? Okay, so she says, frankly, the challenges to your channel are not due to YouTube shadow banning. Yes, they are. They're totally due to that. All my videos I can predict the number of views I'm going to get before I even make the video. YouTube determines how many people see my videos. If they wanted to, they could show them to millions of people rather than just, 10, 20, 100, or 200, okay? All these, bro science channels are getting millions and millions of views. They have, bullshit content. It's because it's corporate positive, okay? And here she says, Dr. McDougall shared the same low-fat vegan message, and he grew his audience to 198,000 subscribers. Dr. McDougall was doing this for many, many years more than me, decades and decades. He used to be on TV and radio. They fired him from TV and radio because he wouldn't promote supplements, okay, and because he criticized drugs. And he got in before the censorship really got strong, when the internet was trying to build content, okay? So yeah, he's the best doctor who ever lived. He should have millions and millions of subscribers. All these bro science channels, they got millions of subscribers, and they're a joke. They're fake, okay? And now, also, I go way beyond a lot of things McDougall would do, in the sense, I'm talking about fluoride in the water, mercury in the dental amalgams, all kinds of other stuff. What a joke Big Pharma is. He talked about what a joke Big Pharma is too. But I go into a lot of things that are not very popular. And it's not popular to talk about trying to save Western civilization. Just so you know, one of my earlier books, Straight A at Stanford and on to Harvard, was a very popular book, sold well, my medical students' guide to top board scores, etc. But when I wrote that book about the best of the West, Western civilization, all of a sudden, everything I did got totally shadow banned. All the attention I got for everything I was doing went into the garbage can as soon as I published that book, The Best of the West About Western Civilization. Popularizing the greatness of Western civilization gets you shadow banned on the internet. It's a fact. I know that for a fact, okay? So it is because I'm shadow banned, all right? There's nothing wrong with my content. Go to Chef AJ, watch the lectures. You'll see that McDougall and me were the two best speakers on the channel. I mean, if you find a better one, let me know. I'll watch their videos, all right? So I know that the only kind of person who will allow me on their channel is somebody who can take the heat, because there's going to be heat. Anything I do, there's going to be heat. There's going to be tons of trolls. There's going to be tons of insulting paleo, keto, carnivore, rage bait comments. There's going to be shadow banning. That's my fate on the internet, okay? And if I ever get famous, then they're going to attack me more aggressively. So it's never going to change. That's how it's going to be. It's never going to be kumbaya. Okay, so she says, the difference is that Dr. McDougall's SEO, that search engine optimization and overall content strategy, was consistent and algorithm friendly. But he didn't major in the minors, as he liked to say, something your current content strategy unfortunately tends to do. Issues like misspellings in your titles and descriptions, your mixed subject matter, and videos on unrelated topics confuse the algorithm and they limit reach. My goal is not to grow like a typical channel where they have a uniform message. My goal is to be the best, and you can't do that, in my opinion, being uniform. I have to be the way I am to do what I do, okay? I refuted the internal medicine textbooks, the neurology textbooks, okay? I've shown what a joke psychology and psychiatry are. In order to do that, I have to be confident, and I have to know what I'm talking about. I can't just limit my channel to one thing. That would be boring, and I'm doing this just for fun. I don't make any money with this. So I know she means well, and it was very nice of her to offer to try to help out my channel. But I knew she was going to freak out. The more she would get to know me, she's got like sort of this pleasant, pampered, spoiled perspective on life. With me, it's not like that. Not like that at all. These problems with your channel are correctable strategic problems, not examples of external bias. Yes, they are. I'm not going to stop being Christian. I'm not going to stop talking about Western civilization. What good is it to promote a plant-based diet and have a normal cholesterol level if we're all pushed back into slavery, okay? She said, I approached you because I saw you as a fellow plant-based evangelist. I had hoped you would see me in the same light, as someone aligned in purpose and mission, but I was mistaken. Now that I have clarity on your viewpoint, I wish you the best. So she was nice, and I know she meant well, and it was a big compliment that she offered to work with me. But I knew it was inevitable this would happen, because people, they like me from afar when they don't really know me, but they get to know me, and they realize, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing. I am concerned about Western civilization being destroyed. It's not some joke. I'm not some spoiled, pampered, pretty lady. No, I'm an Irish, Puerto Rican Catholic who sees genocide happening to Christians all over the world and who knows it's coming to the USA. And I'm just sad because most Christians are so stupid that they don't understand it's happening. Look around. What do you see? You see anywhere you go on the internet, all of Western Christendom is being destroyed. You will see that in other countries, Mozambique, in Nigeria, the Christians are being, just killed en masse, okay? Everywhere. What is the purpose of Ukrainian war? It's to kill the white Christian men in Ukraine. That's the purpose of Ukrainian war. Everything else is bullshit, okay? It's just to genocide them, get rid of them, okay? And that's how it is all over the world. And if you don't understand that, then you don't really know you don't understand the news when you read it. So I'm hoping that the world can come back to peace, and only Christianity can do it. I'll talk about that in other videos. So yes, low-fat vegan is the best diet, but there's also a lot more to it that I go into. All the issues with toxicology, and they're big. And there's a whole bunch of other health issues and dental and stuff. You don't get popular by telling the truth, but to make it a good health channel, that's what I have to do. You have to be hated if you're going to be useful in the healthcare business. Because anybody who talks about, the mercury in amalgams, the fluoride in the water, shadow ban, shadow ban, shadow ban, shadow ban. But if you don't do it, then you don't really help the public too much. And if I get kicked off of YouTube, I'll go to the other channels. They're not as good for health and nutrition, but that's why I'm not there. But if I did, that's where I would go. So anyways, there it is.